Hello, everybody. This is Jackie Cox coming to you again with ACE Community, so adventure, creativity, and enjoyment. And I'm super excited to be interviewing with Kristen Paris with Powered by Health today. So hello, Kristen.
Hi, Jackie.
Thanks for coming on with us today. So Kristen is going to be our featured speaker at our next ACE meeting on Wednesday, November 5th. Which is already next week. Halloween is Friday, and here we are going to enter November this weekend. And so November 5th, Wednesday, 4 to 6 p.m., we will be at Bucket List Tavern in Castle Rock. And Kristen is going to share with us all of her great tips about feeling happy and healthy for the holidays. So Kristen, I'm going to introduce Kristen really quick, and then we're just going to have a fun conversation. Kristen is a board certified holistic health practitioner and coach. She equips her clients to train their brains to crave what their bodies need, making weight loss and healthy lifestyle easy and natural. And I love her comment earlier of actually being fun as well. And so her company, Powered by Health, is her way of helping others add years to their lives and life to those years. Oh, that's a good phrase. I love that. Extending their health span and, more importantly, their satisfaction and joy as they nurture their bodies that won't hold them back. Formerly a software engineer, then a homeschool mom, and an award-winning author. That doesn't surprise me at all. Kristen lives with her husband and their pets in Black Forest, Colorado. When she's not coaching, speaking, or writing, she enjoys leading backpack trips, scuba diving, skiing, travel, and volunteering at her church. So let's welcome Kristen Paris. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me here today, Jackie. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. We are excited to have you as our speaker for next week for our community as well. And the timing is perfect as we get into these big holidays, and Halloween is one of them because I'm sure everybody's trying to figure out what to do with the Halloween candy that you've had probably for a month, and now you've got to actually give it out for trick-or-treaters. But do you have any left? Hopefully you do. And then we get, of course, into our big holidays in November with Thanksgiving, and then all of this December holidays with Christmas and Hanukkah and all of the things. And so it seems like we do get overloaded a little bit. We can get overwhelmed with some of the temptation. So Kristen, tell us about you and your company and how you're going to help us through all of these things that we're going to kind of experience here coming up in the next 2.5 months.
So, Jackie, first, let me just tell you, I love what you said, because most often people say, I don't want to deal with health things until January, right? New Year's resolutions. But when do you most need support?
Now, before we get into all that craziness.
Exactly. So what I help people to do, particularly over the holidays, how would it be to come through those holidays without any sense of guilt, without any new pounds, and this is the critical part, feeling better, feeling like you got more out of the holidays instead of depriving yourself. I don't want you to get to the new year without excess pounds because you somehow were miserable all the way through. We can actually become more fulfilled, more happy, more joyful when we learn to meet our body's needs well. So that's what I'm looking forward to in speaking next week, is really bringing the joy into a healthy lifestyle, because it's there.
Yeah. It is there. It is there. And it's, I've worked with, other health professionals in the past as well. And we have to remember these are one day out of the month. Thanksgiving, Halloween is one day out of the month. Although there's been a lot of temptations, even for me, none of us are perfect with the candy being around and things like that. Thanksgiving is one day though. Now I get Hanukkah and Christmas can extend out a little bit more. Having said that, let's try to balance that out. Of course, we're gonna, want to be able to indulge in some of the things, but do you really? It's not necessary to indulge in all of the things. So, Kristen, talk about that for a little bit, if you would, please. Oh, go ahead.
Well, truthfully, the question becomes, when you're reaching for that 5th or 6th cookie.
Right.
Okay, 26th cookie.
Sorry, be honest.
The question becomes, really, is it the cookies you crave? Or is it the mom, the grandma, the sister you made those cookies with every year when you were growing up? Our cravings actually get miswired in the subconscious brain. And when we can untangle that and
Yeah.
retrain the brain, we actually can learn to crave what our bodies need, what our
Sure.
souls need, what our hearts need.
Sure.
Well, then when we follow our cravings, when we do what we are wanting to do,
Yeah.
it becomes a good thing. We actually get better health and we are more fulfilled because face it, when you eat that cookie, that 27th cookie, we'll say, how many cookies is your limit? 6th cookie, whatever it is. How
Right.
long does satisfaction from that last?
Maybe 30 seconds.
Exactly. Now, if you were able to recognize, gee, you know what I really crave is that feeling of togetherness
Sure.
when my sister and I and mom used to all make those cookies together every year and box them up and give them out as gifts or whatever your
Yeah.
personal story is. It's different for all of us.
Yeah.
What if instead your craving felt like, I really want to call my sister?
Oh, yeah.
How long would that behavior? You call her, you have an hour-long conversation with her.
Yeah.
How long does that satisfaction last?
Oh my gosh, way longer because now your heart and you're feeling more fulfilled for sure from the
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
having the conversation. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. So our cravings are not bad. We think of cravings as an enemy. Like, oh,
Sure,
that's gonna do me in. That's gonna pull me completely off the bandwagon.
sure.
Not if we learn to read them right. Not if we
Oh,
retrain the brain to understand that it's not the cookies. I can have one cookie, that's fine. But
yeah.
more cookies isn't gonna make me feel more better.
Right,
um,
right.
there's something more that I'm needing, and that craving needs to be met in a
Mhm,
way that will actually make me feel joyful,
mhm.
actually make me feel full on an emotional level, because nourishment isn't just about what we eat. We try to meet all our cravings with what we eat and drink,
Right,
and then
right.
it doesn't work. So with what I help my clients with and what I'm going to help your group with
Yeah.
coming week, um, we're looking at um, getting deprivation and willpower out of the equation. They don't work anyway.
Mm,
So we're getting to a place where you're no longer fighting yourself for every lost pound, because that
sure.
doesn't work. Um, the healthy lifestyle that gets you the body and the life you want becomes as easy as brushing your teeth.
Mm,
Something you do without thinking about it, just because that's who you are and it
yeah,
feels good.
yeah.
So because probably at one point your parents probably had to make you brush your teeth, right?
Yes.
I'm guessing, I mean, most infants don't come out of the womb going, give me a toothbrush. Okay. You have to learn that. But now, do you wake up in the morning going, oh man, this is really hard. I gotta brush my teeth. I gotta find time. This is so stressful. We don't do that, right?
No, no,
So
no.
what I help people do in the course of my coaching um, is to make those healthy habits
Mhm.
easy, habitual. We do them because, after all, a clean mouth feels kind of good, right?
Right, right, exactly.
So this is different from what most people expect from a health coach.
Sure.
People like to kind of run in terror and walk away when they find out what I do. I don't sell any supplements, never will. Okay, that's really important to me. I consider it a conflict of interest. People are expecting, when they hear health coach, that I'm going to give them a diet plan, an exercise plan, maybe some stress management techniques. And then when you get that information, you rush right out and do it all and never fall back, right?
Right.
No, wrong, wrong. We don't,
Right.
because we don't need more information. We're flooded with it.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't need to know more. If we want to know more, we've got Uncle Google, right?
Right, right. Doctor
We don't need
Google.
information. We need transformation. And
Sure.
that's where I come in.
Yeah.
I act as a bridge between information and transformation, helping my clients to implement curated, personally tailored information in ways. And yes, we're going to personally tailor it next week. You're going to
Mhm.
personally tailor what I give you
Yeah,
in ways that will allow them to achieve their goals permanently.
sure.
And by the way, if you're out there listening and this feels too pie in the sky, you feel like permanent weight loss and habit changes, that's just way out of reach. I've yo-yo dieted, I've tried plans before, I've lost weight, I've gained it back. I
Sure,
just can't seem to stick with the program. Please hear me right now. It is not your fault.
Sure.
And it is not because you're weak.
Right.
Actually, because part of your brain is strong, like superhero strong. Okay. And that part, which throws you back into old habits, is really only trying to protect you.
Mm.
So the amygdala, or the stress center in our brain,
Mm-hmm.
is there just to keep you alive. That's its whole job.
Yeah.
And it is processing 11 million bits of information. Very conservative estimate. I've heard up to 40 billion every
Right.
second, just trying to keep you safe. That's all it does. And it
Interesting.
perceives change as threatening.
Sure.
Even if your cortex, the thinking part of your brain, knows that this change is for the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, guess how many bits of information your conscious brain processes every second?
It's like 36,000 or something like that, isn't
Nope,
it?
not the conscious. Conscious,
Oh, I don't know then, I guess.
40.
Really?
40. So if we try to overpower that subconscious part, which controls our habits, with willpower, we're outnumbered about 7,000 to 1.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Not good odds, right?
Right,
When you
right.
set up an arm wrestling match with somebody who's got, biceps out to here, and you're but furthermore, we're wired for that part of us to take over, which
Yeah.
is, again, we have to be. If you put your hand on a hot stove, you want to think which muscle is going to get your hand out of danger.
Right, right, right.
That's not going to work. You just want it to happen, right?
Yeah.
Subconscious saves us, but it gets miswired.
Mhm.
So some things like that hot stove example, that's hardwired. Other
Mhm.
things aren't, like driving habits. Those have to be learned, right?
Yeah.
You've been driving for a while. You've been driving for a while, right, Jackie?
Oh, absolutely. I've been
Oh, yeah.
driving since I was 7, actually.
So do you fixate every bit of attention on the color of the stoplight every
No,
second that you're there? No.
no.
But when you first learned to drive, you probably had to, because it was all new and
Yeah.
disorienting, right? Green has meant go for so long, your foot probably starts to obey that signal while you're still listening to a podcast,
Yeah. Right,
right?
right.
Eating, exercise, and sleep habits are the same. They're learned,
Yeah.
and they can be learned well, or our brains can go a little wonky on us.
Mhm.
So let's say that when you're a child, every time your family did something special to celebrate accomplishments, really make you feel connected and affirmed, it involved ice cream.
Yeah, sure,
Okay,
sure.
is that realistic?
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty
Okay.
realistic.
For me, it was chocolate chip cookies, but more people like ice cream. So
Yeah, yeah,
that's when subconscious was developing its view of reality, its programming,
yeah.
its directions. How do I keep this person that I'm responsible for alive? And in neuroscience, we know that what fires together wires together.
Mm.
So ice cream, relationships. Oh, subconscious figures it out. I got it. Relationships, those come from ice cream.
Uh,
And you actually develop a neural wire that
Sure,
connects ice cream and relationships.
sure.
Then you fast forward to your adult self that knows that, let's see, sugar contributes to dementia, heart disease, obesity,
Right.
diabetes, all these things, and thinks, well, I'm going to give up ice cream. But your subconscious hears no more relationships,
Oh,
because it has
interesting.
decided that ice cream is integral to relationships. And when you say, I'm not going to have the ice cream, subconscious hears you're not going to have the relationships either. And it rebels,
Hmm.
because relationship is a legitimate human need. We need other people.
Right,
We're set
right.
up that way. So
Yeah.
subconscious basically says, wait a minute, I've kept you alive all these years with like freezers full of ice cream. I don't know if I can keep you alive this other way.
Sure.
So come back to the dark side. We have cookies. And that's when we fall backwards into the old habits that got us where we don't want to be.
Right, right.
Every single craving has a positive intention.
Sure.
It's actually telling you that you need something.
Right.
But what you crave is often not enough to meet your actual needs. So we don't want to deprive you. Instead, we want to fulfill you.
Sure.
The brain is simply misreading the signal and sending you in the opposite direction from the choices that would actually
Right.
fill you up.
And so do you feel like that comes from, do you feel like it comes from comfort? Do you feel like it comes from overwhelm or fear of something else? Like, what do you feel like brings people back to that space then?
The underlying need is different. It's very individual.
Mhm.
What actually makes us fall into the behavior that pulls us backwards is a fear response. Now, fear looks a lot of different ways.
Fear
So
of
we
missing
might
out or
not
something like that.
recognize it as fear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Loneliness. What is loneliness? It's fear of being alone,
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
right? Um, Boredom, fear of missing out
Right.
on what's going on in life. So it is technically, from a scientific perspective, it is a fear response, but it
Sure.
doesn't feel like fear. So I'm not saying we're all running around afraid and that's why we go eat the cookies.
Right. Right.
Ultimately, it is, however, a fear response. It can be basically your subconscious brain is afraid of not being taken care of.
Sure.
So when we want safety, I'm afraid of danger. When we want security, I'm afraid of not having enough. When they're
Sure.
all fear responses.
Yeah.
But the good news, the great news, I don't want to leave people in this space of, man, that she is depressing. The great news is that there are ways to change this.
Right.
Easy, easy peasy, manageable steps that are actually a fun adventure to do.
Yeah.
Um, that will convince the subconscious brain that there is a better way to meet those legitimate needs.
Sure.
And then cravings change
They do.
from cookies and Chex Mix to going for a walk in the sunshine, playing a game with the kids.
Yeah.
The behaviors that will actually leave us feeling good and great for the long haul.
Yeah.
You can actually wake up, and I'm going to work more with people on this in January when everybody's got their New Year's resolutions going. You can
Sure.
wake up craving a workout, craving a workout. Like, my day is not started until I work out. I'm just,
Yeah.
this is what I'm moving towards. This is what I want to be doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I do. I journey with my clients,
Yeah.
not just spewing out information because that's totally useless.
Yeah.
But walking beside them as they take small, manageable, fun
Yeah.
steps to
And that,
change from the inside.
yeah, and that's it. I mean, I think that if people realized that there was some process, some smaller steps that can lead to some results that feel fun for them as well, they are more likely to do any of these things. So whether it's, you start walking 10 minutes a day, or maybe it's 10 minutes 3 times a week, and then now you're starting to create that feeling of, oh, that felt really good and that was fun for me because I got a chance to see the outside world and take in the changing leaves or take in whatever is out there, right? And I feel good after. Oh, that's interesting, right? And so I think it's a slow process for some. I mean, like most of us, it takes a while. I mean, you hear 21 days to create a habit, you hear 28 days to create a habit. Sometimes you hear 60 to create a habit and let it stick, right?
Technically, I mean, I know there are a lot of theories.
Yeah.
That's to create a habit,
Right.
to
Right.
cement it in
Yes.
so that it actually becomes a part of you. Minimum.
Yeah. Right.
Not everybody gets it in this amount of time. Minimum of 90 days.
90 days. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, I find truth in that as well because it's one small step. So if you're craving that sugar, I mean, if you take a few minutes to try to listen to what your body is actually telling you, it's not the sugar necessarily that you're craving. I mean, it comes across that way, but it's the either the nostalgic moment that you felt because you were with your sister or your family while you were doing that activity, or it's a comfort level, it's a reward system from when you were a kid or whatever. So it's not necessarily the craving necessarily that is in front of us, I believe, but I think it's what else is your body telling us as well? So are you really craving that? And if that's the case, then have a bite of whatever you're going to have and then move on. But if you're not satiated by that, that was never the craving.
Exactly.
Right.
And truthfully, since our cravings are there as our body's attempt to give
Right.
us what we need, do we ever need Doritos?
no, they're terrible for you.
Exactly. And many of our cravings work that way.
Right,
There is no legitimate physical basis to the craving. You do not need that. And
right,
we've learned to turn to it. That's a conditioned response.
right,
So if we recondition,
right.
we can instead turn to the things that actually have value for
Mhm.
our bodies and also for our whole selves. Nourishment isn't just about food.
Right,
So
right,
when we nourish the whole self, we can redirect those cravings to something that actually leaves us feeling so much better
right, right,
than the way we felt for years. We can make that when we work with the habit centers of the brain, we can make that healthy lifestyle instinctual as we're made to be, so that we crave the things we're supposed to crave
mhm,
and actually live fulfilled lives.
right, right,
Um,
absolutely.
so yes, I work on nourishment, movement, stress, and sleep. We're mostly going to work on the nourishment aspect next
Right,
week. Um, but more importantly, we're working from the inside out, not from the outside in. So it's not, there's no list. Here's what you should eat. Here's what you shouldn't. I don't ever recommend dieting.
right,
There's a better paradigm.
yeah, yeah,
Instead of being a dieter, be a nutrient seeker. That's a little sneak peek of what's coming up next.
yeah,
It's
that's
a
awesome.
completely different mindset, and we'll delve a little more into what that looks like.
Right,
But when we change our paradigm, how we are viewing our behavior, we
uh-huh,
ease the habit centers of the brain into a completely different perspective,
right,
which allows us to live in bodies that no longer stand in our way, but are ready for each new adventure ahead of us.
yeah, yeah. So there's some things that in here that you've mentioned as far as being able to like fill. There's so many ways to fill our cups too. Fill our souls with the feeling of that craving, if you will, if that's what we're calling it. So I know that I mean, even in your bio, there's a lot of things that you do from the standpoint of filling your soul by backpacking or scuba diving, skiing, traveling. So how have some of those things helped you with how you help your clients as well? Scuba diving is one of those. We talked about it a little bit before we got on that. I know you're working towards being an instructor now, which is next level. And there's a lot of internal fears that could come with an activity like that. So talk me through that, how you've come overcome some of that, and then how has that helped you with working with your clients?
Um, Great question. I have a lot of fears because of my childhood, and I did not have
Sure.
an easy time when I was growing up. So I was blessed with, let's see, fear of heights, fear of closed spaces, um, actually fear of drowning. That's a big one.
Interesting. Okay. Okay.
Um, and it has been exciting for me personally to experience. I even use my own coaching to coach myself.
Oh, good for you.
Um,
Awesome.
and um, good example. Last week, I am, as I told you before we started this recording, part of the first level of training towards becoming a dive instructor involves a skill that is not easy for me. I have a relatively low lung capacity,
Mm.
and I have to swim underwater for 26 and a half yards. Don't ask me where they got that number. That is bizarre. That's what I have to do,
Yeah.
which is going to mean a turn at the end of the pool
Yeah.
and coming back without surfacing. Well, last week, my whopping best I thought I could do ended up being 12 and a half yards.
Yeah.
And
That's
I have less than 2 weeks now until the test. And I was like, I can't do this. Thinking through both the science of what I know is going on with my body
sure.
and the thoughts of what is it? What do I really want for myself?
Sure.
What do I want my life to look like?
Right.
Now, I know scientifically I can do this.
Yeah.
That's often not enough.
Sure.
So, working through the what am I striving towards? What am I going to have to, what preconceived notions do I have to let go of? What do I have to
Yeah.
believe
Yeah.
in order to take this step? did a lot of that self-talk. And as of last night, I did 25 yards. I didn't do the turn yet.
Ah,
Still working on that, but I did my 25 yards without a breath.
it's amazing.
And was able to start working on some of what I also work with clients. Some of what we're going to do
Yeah.
next week is connecting that to the pleasure centers in our brain.
Nice. Yeah.
Those integrate with our habit centers. Pleasure helps to develop our habits just like pain does. So when I can learn to tie that to our pleasure centers, oftentimes we fail in this step. We just don't bother to do, oh, that felt good. And then I move on. Like you were talking about, oh, it felt good to take the walk. And then we move on. We don't do anything with that feeling. Well, it takes a real focus on the pleasure in order to convince our brains, oh, this is actually a good thing.
Right.
You know, so she just did 25 yards underwater without breathing.
That's amazing.
Maybe I should never do this again. Or I can take the time to really drill that down into my brain, take the time to fully experience what that felt like, and allow the pleasure to come through. Because when I do that, subconscious brain is less likely to hold me back and say, ooh, no, 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 you need air. You are a land-based, air-breathing creature. You cannot do that. If I can focus on the joy involved in that experience and really fully experience it, that helps me to let go for the next run.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's so true. I mean, recently at the gym, I got a PR for an exercise that I've been in CrossFit for a year and a half, and some of these movements were foreign to me, completely foreign. Even though I had lifted weights before in the past, some of them I just wasn't doing. And so one of the movements that we were doing was a clean and jerk, and I struggled with it the week prior with a certain weight that I was doing, and then we were back at it again, and I was like, I know I can do this. I did it last week. It didn't go pretty last week, but I did it. And so I got in my head a little bit, and I had to walk away from the bar for just a minute, and I knew I could do it. And I reprogrammed myself in that instant of saying, you can do this and you can do it well with good form and I did. And I was super excited about it because it was like, it was an instantaneous overcome of mindset junk that was happening. I talked myself into doing it versus talking myself out of doing it. And so that felt amazing, And so again, it was like, don't be nervous of it, right? I mean, I know that that's easier said than done sometimes. Sometimes I'm nervous of water. Water and I aren't best friends, but at the same time, what you're saying is by bringing yourself to a level of feeling that you're going to overcome something, that feels good. That in itself feels good. And again, in your case, the science behind it, your own lung capacity, you know what you're capable of. So your body wants to protect you, like you said, and yet you overcame something. And I think it's so beautiful. And I think we all are capable of doing that more than we're not. We just don't give ourselves credit for it.
We are. And the great thing is, we tend, when we aren't intentional about changing our habits, when we're just trying to use that conscious brain to overcome the subconscious and do this arm wrestle thing.
Yeah.
We tend to get in a downward spiral, right?
We can, yeah.
Okay, so I lost the weight and then I regained it, and that was really hard. I regained the weight. Now I'm sad. And now I'm craving the cookies because that's where I get comfort. And as I eat more cookies, I gain more weight. And we go in down this rabbit hole.
Right.
That feels impossible to get out of. The cool thing is, the reverse is also true.
Yeah.
As I said, I'm also claustrophobic.
Yeah.
So going under the water was a rather big deal for me.
It's a very big deal.
For a long time. And even prior to instructor level.
Yeah.
It took a long time before the water level gets to the mask. And then it gets above your head and you're like, I'm underwater. I need to get up. This is bad idea.
Yeah.
Through repetition.
Sure.
Of the mindset changes. Okay. I really want to see the octopus. Through repetition of that, it has gotten to a point now where that feeling never kicks in.
Right.
Never. I go
So
into the water, and breathing underwater is as natural as breathing on land.
Sure.
And now it's one of my most relaxing activities. You get under the water. I know you don't care for water a lot, Jackie, but
Yeah.
you get under the water and all of the stress of the world it's not there.
Sure.
You can't hear it. There's no distraction. You're just down there chilling with the fish.
That's amazing. Yeah.
It is a beautiful, beautiful experience. It took me a long time and a lot of dives to get to that point, but I'm grateful I put in the mindset work to acclimate myself to that, so that now when I dive, it's more an issue of, okay, when can I get my ear cleared so I can get further down? It's not a fear, it's more a FOMO. Like, okay, there's stuff going on down there. There are critters down there, and I'm not seeing them fast enough. I gotta get down there.
Yeah.
So it becomes something I crave.
Yeah, it's an interesting shift for sure. And I think this is so beautiful. And I know that we could, chat about this for a long time. And I think it's one small step. If we give ourselves credit for one small step every day and try to build on that, right? We're doing one small step, and now it's a little further. It's a little further. We're building and also creating that mindset around it.
But also giving ourselves grace.
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
So I encourage people in two things. First, a concept called conscious indulgence.
Okay.
Where we choose. This is not a treat. This is not a holiday. This is a choice. I'm going to choose to step out of the lifestyle habits I'm developing. I'm going to be very conscious of this, not to restrict myself, to enjoy more. So I'm going to have that. Okay, I don't know what your family dessert is. Ours is chocolate mousse.
Okay.
I'm going to have that chocolate mousse. And I'm not just going to sit there spooning it in while I watch something else, or I'm going to notice it. I'm going to eke every last bit of pleasure I can out of it.
Yeah.
I'm going to really appreciate it, because this is not my normal. Tomorrow or whenever, I'm going to go back to my normal, and I'm not going to feel guilty, because this is a choice I made. It's like, have you ever been out to a really fancy dinner where you had to wear like a ball gown?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So the next day, you probably enjoyed the experience, but the next day, did you want to put on the ball dress again?
No.
We don't want to do that. That was a special time. I stepped out of my normal. I did this fancy occasion. And then the next day, okay, take it to the dry cleaner, whatever. I don't want to put it back on again.
Right.
That's what a conscious indulgence is. It's a choice to step away,
experience
something, and then go back to your normal life. It doesn't need to call you again.
Yeah.
So there's that, but then also to recognize that some days I don't need to completely derail. Some days I may not meet every goal. So yesterday I swam 25 yards underwater.
Amazing.
Today, this morning, 20 was the most I could get. I just, and I knew it, and I went, you know what, that's okay. I will still repeat, do the best I can. So I still did the number of lengths that I had intended to do this morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I did that number of lengths. I didn't hit 25 yards. That's okay.
Right.
I did what I could, and I took the steps. The point was, I took the step. Did I meet the goal? No.
Right.
Doesn't matter. I took the step, and I will take the step again tomorrow. And eventually that's going to get me to where I want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. So a little bit of grace and stick to it. So Kristen, this has been awesome. So we're excited to have you next week at our ACE meeting for again, we do meet from 4 to 6 p.m. Wednesday, November 5th at Bucket List Tavern in Castle Rock. So I hope everybody will join us. It's a free meeting to attend. And so we have members and guests that show up to that meeting as well. And we not only have an amazing speaker in Kristen, but we do some fun things as well during the meeting. So come on out and join us. Kristen, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
Go to my website, which is www.poweredbyhealth.com.
Okay.
And send me a message.
Okay. Awesome. So definitely, I'll put that in the comments as well, but definitely connect with Kristen, poweredbyhealth.com. And
may
Go
I say
ahead.
one more thing? Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
For those people who do show up next week, you will walk away with 3 solid, easy steps that you can take to start implementing change right now.
Nice, nice. So again, we're coming right into the big heavy holidays and Kristen's here to help us. So thank you so much for taking the time, Kristen, today. It's been awesome. This is a topic that I am passionate about, and so I know that you are as well. It fuels right through you. And so we could talk for hours, but we better cut this short at this point. But we're looking forward to seeing you next week. So thank you again, Kristen.
Thank you for having me, Jackie.
All right, everybody, have a great day. We'll see you on Wednesday next week.